People actually have drivers for different reasons. Some because they have a car and they cannot drive. Yes, there are people that have cars but they cannot drive. And there are people that have phobia for driving for different reasons. Some people, maybe before when they were young, they were in an accident. Different reasons why people employ drivers. Because some people think that having a driver is because you are rich. No, it's not necessarily because you have money. But at times in your life, it might be just a necessity to help yourself or take out stress. And for me, it was to take out stress, you get, because at a time I was doing a lot. I was so stressed and I started having fear over driving. So hi guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. I hope you are doing well. My name is Chinwe Glory, a vlog mom from Lagos, Nigeria. So today I'll be talking about how employing up to 6 drivers in 3 years has affected my mental health. Right now I am the one driving myself and it is a story time. I'll come tell you people how it all started. More than 3 years ago, I got pregnant and I had a very difficult pregnancy. And my pregnancy, in fact, if you have not watched my pregnancy story, I'll be linking it up here for you to watch. So I had a very difficult pregnancy, and at that time, my husband was sending somebody, whenever I am going to the hospital or going anywhere far, he always sends a driver from his office to help, take me. And after I gave birth to my baby 3 years ago, we now made a decision to hire our own driver, our own personal driver, okay? And my first driver was a very young guy. He's from Kaduna State, and I had no problem with him. Right now, in fact, he calls me every time, every year, he calls me. In fact, he calls me randomly, and this year he has called me up to 2 times. It was going on well. The only problem I had with him was that he cannot drive. He cannot drive so well. Like, I stayed with him for more than 6 months or thereabout. I can't remember how long I stayed with him, but I really stayed with him that he knows my mom, he knows everywhere, he knows all my sisters. But he cannot drive. Like, he's new to driving, and it made me so uncomfortable. When you have a driver, you're supposed to be relaxing when you are in the car. But I was always driving the car with him, And after a while, he got better. Don't get me wrong. He actually got better. But I couldn't, I was thinking that what's the need of having a driver when you are in the car, you're not relaxed. You're always, your mind is always cutting. And I couldn't even look him in his face to tell him that, I want you to stop. I just told him that right now that my baby is, she's no longer on exclusive, that I would like to be driving myself. So that was the excuse I gave him, and he stopped. And let me put this clear. The agreement between both of us was that when he drops me in the morning, he comes to work by 6. He drops me and we get home. Then we leave early. We leave by 6:30. He drops me and he goes. He will go out anywhere he wants to go. Then he'll come back by 2. We'll go pick the kids, then he go. That was the agreement, okay? So when I told him to stop, he now stopped, and I got another driver. I got another driver, and this one did only 1 month with me. He said he's an escort. That's what they call them, escort. People that drive all these politicians that carry siren cars. That's the guy. He can drive very well. He knows how to use his one-way light, his navigator. He does not fail in those things. He knows how to drive. And the funny thing is that the very day I paid him, like for 1 month. After 1 month, I paid him, and that day I was handing him his envelope. He has an escort job to do, so he won't continue with the job. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? You know, when you're used to, somebody driving you 1 month, paid you, and you said you're done. And I said, okay, and he left. Then I got another person, another driver. This one stayed for only 2 weeks. And these 2 weeks was so long, I don't know. I think that's the longest 2 weeks I've ever had in my life. The 2 weeks was so long. And how did he do 2 weeks? So when I got this very driver, normally the first driver and the second driver, people that we know direct them. So this one, somebody that I know too, directed him. And when we started talking, I asked him that if he wants me to be paying him 2 weeks, like his monthly salary, we divide it into 2. Every 2 weeks, I pay you. He said he took that option of 2 weeks. And that's exactly 2 weeks that I paid him. That was on a Friday. He was supposed to come to work on Saturday. We were supposed to go out on Saturday by 6. I was going to Balogu Market to buy things. He did not show up. This guy did not show up, and that was the end. When I called the person that brought him, the woman was surprised because he told me that the guy was saying that I'm nice because I was giving breakfast. The only person I did not give breakfast was my first driver, because when he comes in the morning, drop the kids off, he will go and come back by 2. So he was never in the house. So that's why I wasn't giving him breakfast. But the other 2, and this one I'm talking about, I was giving him breakfast. And that was how this one stopped after 2 weeks. And it wasn't easy. I started driving myself until I decided to look for driver myself without, getting people that I know to help me out. So I went to my auntie's office and put a signpost, driver wanted, and I got one that I interviewed, and I said, okay, let's start. And on the day of the interview, my people, I forgot to ask about the driver's, if he had driver's license. But as he was about to go, I asked him, please, I hope you have a valid license. He brought it out and flashed it like this. Like, I didn't see it, but he flashed it. And immediately I saw something, I said, now driver's license. My people, when he started 2 days into the driving work, we were stopped by the road safety, and the road safety saw the license and said it was fake. And it ended up to be fake. And I remembered, how he flashed the license and the rest of it. And it was looking fake. When you see that license, you don't need anybody to tell you that it was fake. And this guy was lying through his nose that he paid somebody when he came into Lagos to do the license. But believe me, that man knew that what he was using to drive people was a fake driver's license. Then I think I spent 10,000 naira on that very case, because when he was supposed to pay, because I was angry and said he will pay, but he said he does not have money. So the person that came to help me to beg the road safety and the rest of them now advised me that I should just still keep him. That the only thing is that he will apply in that road safety office so that they will start the process of the license, so that they will not give him, there is this paper they give before your license gets ready. And I said, okay. And I'll pay the 10,000 but I told him that I'll be taking it from his salary, because it is solely his own problem, not mine. So now, after I paid, this guy started working, because the man said everybody was now begging me that I should take him back, that hence he can drive. And I said, okay, my people, this man started driving me. He started driving me, and all of a sudden he started coming late to work. His license was not ready. they were still, they were still processing his. Before you get a driver's license as a new person, you have to go through a driving school. So already, I have paid. I think I dropped 5K or so for them to get the driving school certificate for him. So that's the process we were onto before he now started coming late to work. And if I ask him, he will say he does not have transport money to come to work. And already because of that fake license experience I had with him, I wasn't comfortable giving him another part of his salary because I am not so sure of him. I might give him the money and he will not come back. You get, I was scared. So we now managed with him until after 2 weeks. He now told me that because I paid him 2 weeks, for this man it was 2 weeks too. He now told me that he cannot cope, that the transportation and the rest of them, he stopped. So when he stopped, I started looking for another driver. Yes. I did not tell people that I know. I just decided to still put the signpost in my auntie's office and, to get another one. And luckily for me, that man, the wife was passing by and saw it. They just moved to my area, and when the wife came in, took the details, we now arranged for meeting, and I met with the man, and he was my tribe person. That's the first Igbo person I've ever worked with as a driver. So we agreed and he started work, and it was smooth. He told me that he doesn't want 2 weeks. He wants it end of the month I pay him. So that's how we started. And I think we worked up to 3-4 months, and I was giving breakfast. I do. And let me state it here. After my experience with telling drivers, with my first driver, telling him to, drop me off, then go wherever and come, make sure you come by 2. I didn't have it. That experience wasn't so smooth at the end of the day because at times they come in late for the afternoon work. So I decided that when you come to work, you stay until you can go buy food, come back. And if you want to go buy food, it will be, you won't waste time, like 1 hour, 2 hours, you are back. But I'm giving breakfast, so you won't even have time. So because of that experience I had, now if you come to work, I'll be the one, I'll give you breakfast, of course. And you will stay until we leave by 2. You come by 6:30. You leave when we come back. At times we get back here by 3, at times 3:30, depending on how the road is, you go. That's how I started running it. This one, it was going so well that on my own part, I was relaxed. On a Sunday, I did a transfer and sent him proof of payment that I've paid him for the month. And the Monday, he did not show up. And that was the end of that contract. Oh God. He stopped, and I was like, when this one happened, I was like, what is this again? What is this? And I comforted myself. Maybe he has gotten a good place. Maybe that's why he decided to stop. And along the line, I got a call. From somebody that wanted to employ him. That the man said he works for me. The Igbo man worked for me. And I said yes, that he's a good driver. And that was it. And that's how I got another driver. My second to the last driver, that's how I got him. And he's still my tribesman. And because of my past experiences, I started normally I'm a very intentional person. Don't get me wrong, I'm a human being and I can go wrong. But I'm very intentional, like how I treat people around me, so that I don't end up maltreating people. because I don't like when I'm being maltreated. So I'm very intentional, you get. So now, this one that came, I was asking my questions why, I was asking myself a lot of questions why my drivers don't last with me. What exactly am I doing wrong? And at the end of the day, I noticed that maybe they are bored. They might be bored at home. In my house, when they drop my keys, they will have to wait until 2 before, we go out to pick them. So I decided to give this, my second to the last driver, my Wi-Fi network. I connected my Wi-Fi network to his phone so that when we get back, he will be busy on his phone. And another thing I did, because of those experiences, I stopped giving breakfast. No, it's not that I don't give. I don't now do it that whether I have breakfast or I don't have, I'll go all out to get it. If I have breakfast, I give you. But if I don't have breakfast, I will not bother. But if I have something at home, I will give you. That was what I was doing with this, my second to the last driver that came. And my people, it was moving fine because that was the longest driver I ever had. September would have been 1 year, but he left. He left in May. You get, so he started September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So this one stayed with me. The longest driver I had stayed with me for 9 good months. You get. So now, but I feel that I treated this one so well because I was now extra intentional. When you don't want to step on their toes, when you don't want to make them angry so that they will not stop. That was what I was doing. I was super intentional with him. If we go to the market to buy foodstuffs, when we come back, I give him things so that he will be happy. And he will be happy doing his job. So I thought. For a while, my husband's car was in the mechanic. One day I came out to throw dustbin. My driver comes in by 6:30. And I saw that my husband's car was dirty. But my driver was in the car watching YouTube or whatever he's watching in his car, in his phone. So I tapped the car and told him that, please, my husband's car is dirty. Please quickly wash it. And whenever the car is dirty, I told him that whenever the car is dirty, that he should make sure he washes it before we go out. Because by the time we'll get back, my husband would have gone to the office. So I told him, before we go out, hence you come by 6:30 and we leave by 7, please watch Ogat's car whenever it's dirty. Because my own car, he doesn't wash it until we get back. And in fact, at times, he will not even wash the car because I feel that the Wi-Fi I even gave him, I don't know if it was a problem for me. Because now he's it is all about his phone and he will not do the job he's supposed to do. At times, I have a driver and my car will be dirty. It doesn't make sense. Do you get? Because that's the only thing. Take me out, wash the car. That's the only job you do. So now, I now told him to wash the car. His mood changed. I noticed it, but I did not pay attention to it. All I know is that I've told you what to do. So, he got back, he got out from the car and started washing the car. Me, I left, went inside. Then that one, I thought I've passed the information. Then another time, as we were going out by that 7, we leave by 7, he was already in the car waiting. When I came out, my husband's car was there, but it was dirty. And he was the one that moved the car because my husband comes in late. So when he comes, as we are giving the key, you give him the 2 keys, he will move the car. He will take my husband's own inside, and the one we are using for school runs will be out. He was the one that moved the car, and he knew that the car was dirty, but he didn't wash it. So when I came out with my husband, I now said, I called his name. I said, you did not wash the car. You did not wash my husband's car. This man did not talk to me. I just didn't want to push it because my husband was there. We now went inside the car as we were driving out. And I asked him, you did not answer me when I asked you why you didn't wash your gas car. You know what this guy told me? He said it is not in our agreement that he will be washing the car. So we have to write an agreement before a driver will know that he's supposed to wash the car. I told him that you are very ungrateful. This man is the one that pays your salary. In fact, my husband just increased his salary the last month. And I told him that for that reason, for you saying that washing my husband's car is not in our agreement, your salary that he just increased, I will tell Oga to take your salary back to what we agreed on before. He now told me that, Madam, if I drop your children and come back, I am stopping this job. That's what he told me. And I said, no problem, you will stop the job. I didn't go further to say a lot of things because I was angry. I was holding myself because my kids were in the car with me. I didn't want to go overboard. You know, when you have children around you, be very careful. I was angry. I was boiling. Was it? When we left, after we dropped the children, I didn't talk. We came back and I asked him, "Oya, give me my car key." I collected the car key. He left. I went inside and I called my husband and told my husband everything. My husband was like, eh? And when I came into, I called the person that brought him and told him everything. This is what happened. My husband now started telling people in the office again, his colleagues, that he's looking for a driver. When I came in, I just realized I had mixed feelings. My mind was like, what did I do? This is the fifth driver I'm ever getting. What is happening? I started asking myself questions. Chinwe, you must be a bad person. Chinwe Glory, you must definitely be a bad person. Because what is this? Common driver. And you see people have driver 2 years, 3 years. But because you're a bad person, that is what my mind was telling me. My mind was telling me. I was like, so the person that brought him now called him and asked him, he now said the truth, that I asked him to wash car. But the person was saying that washing car should be part, you as a driver should know that you're supposed to wash a car. And behold, that's around 12. My husband told me that there is a driver they are bringing for me, another driver. Mentally, I was not ready, I won't lie. I was mentally not ready. Hey? Because already my mind has been flogging me. Don't know. I am trying to see where it was my fault. I want to see what I was doing wrong. So that's how I decided to say, okay, so the next day, this is my sixth driver. The sixth driver started. There was a day he didn't come to work and he did not call. And he was supposed to come. I did not call him. I just called my husband that I didn't see this driver. My husband, any complaint I have, I just push it to my husband. My husband will, talk to them. I wasn't now very free to, but once in a while, I do it, but I still was, guiding myself because I didn't want to have such an experience again. You get? So I was always on my guide and I was not giving food. I wasn't giving him food. All I know is that when he drops us and he wants to go out to buy food, you can go and buy food and come back. That was what I was doing, but I wasn't giving food. Then we now started walking. He was a good driver. He can drive. He can really, really drive. And one thing I like about my sixth driver is that he knows everywhere in Lagos. Anywhere. He will tell me, Madam, tell me anywhere you're going, we go. He knows when it comes to, he's very grounded. He knows Lagos a lot. Almost everywhere he knows. So that one is a credit to him. He knows. Now, end of the month, the next day, we did not see him. He did not show. So my people, this man did not show again. So it was my husband. I told my husband, oh yeah, the driver did not show. And I feel that too, my husband was even tired. So what my husband was it to just call the person that brought him that the man did not show face. And I did not go further to ask why, All I know is that I told my husband that I am tired, I am mentally exhausted, I cannot, keep having a driver. I was mentally exhausted. So from now, I'll be driving myself. If I'm going far away from where I live, my husband can, ask somebody from his office to take me. Yeah, it's not that I can't drive. I can drive perfectly well. I can, just that I don't enjoy driving anymore. I stopped enjoying driving. Like I feel driving, I see driving, me as a person, I see driving as a work. Before I used to see it like I do enjoy it, but right now I see it as a job. But mentally, I can't have a driver. It's not possible. I cannot have somebody that I will say I employed you. No, I can't. Unless maybe in the future I might. But right now, I am trying to heal. I'm trying to, encourage myself and tell myself that there is nothing wrong with me. My husband feels that I am beating myself so much. Do you think so? Do you think I'm beating myself so much? But I feel that, Chinwe Glory, I'm not a bad person. I am not. I'm exhausted. I am healing. I am healing. Yeah, and I pray that, I'm not struggling so much driving myself. I think I have come to a reality in that this is what I want to do and I want to do it myself. I think I am in that space in my life, and hopefully one day I will start enjoying driving the way I used to. I wish so. So I've come to the end of my story. If you have any advice for me, I'll be in the comments section. If you have any advice, if you have a way I can cope or I can start enjoying driving, let me know in the comment section. And thank you all. If you have watched up to this moment, up to now, and you're not yet subscribed, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Like my videos, share my videos if you can, and I will see you in my next one. I appreciate you. Bye, guys.